Hi, welcome back. Vince here from My Mate Vince, and this is episode 19 of trying to fix up this Rolls Royce, and this is actually a continuation of episode 18. So if you haven't watched episode 18, you really need to watch that to understand how we got to this point here. So in this one here, I've already cut out the old wheel arch. I've got the new wheel arch in, but now I need to weld it up and then try to make it look presentable. And that's what you're going to be hopefully seeing in this video. Let's get started. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start welding through these ones. Like I said before, I'm going to start here. I'm going to kind of push it in and try to clamp it up. I'm going to get some clamps, try to clamp the inner wheel arch to this one here. And then, I'm just going to go here and here. I'm not just going to go 1, 2, 3 because it will burn everywhere. But if I just do in random spots away from each other, hopefully the heat won't distort the panel. So far, I'm very happy with how it's come out. Let's get some welding done. Okay, if anybody remembers the other episode when I was doing some welding, I said I wasn't really happy. It wasn't like I remembered it used to be. And again, when I'm doing this, I'm struggling. I'm looking at the welds and they've got little holes in them. Anyway, I inspected the welder, and sure enough, where the gas pipe, so what happens is the cylinder at the back goes through a tube and then it comes out the middle here. And check this out. When I look closely, it was kinked and it's completely ripped, so I had to cut the pipe back and reattach it. And now the weld is like I remember it used to be, and they just look so much smoother. So I'm gonna have to drill a load more holes, do a load more welding. But look, I'm not quite sure I got my speed right yet. It just feels so much nicer. So yeah, I'm happy. Hopefully these welds will be strong. Okay, things are going a bit against me. Unfortunately, the welder keeps stopping. What happens is it's making the right noises, like the fan's moving and stuff, but when I press the button, there's nothing, there's no wire coming out. Now I took it apart. There's definitely continuity. Do you know what? It'd make it probably a good trying to fix video. It's there's continuity from the button here going into it, so it's not bad. There's nothing bad in this cable here. Basically, it started to work again when I took out. There's a little board that has that speed thing, potentiometer for the to push the wire through. There's a little board. There's a relay and stuff on there. I took that apart and then basically put it back together. I didn't do anything. There's no broken solder joints or anything. Put it back together and then it worked. So I'm just wondering, could it be something to do with overheating? It is a hot day today and this whole thing feels, well, this here feels warm and stuff. So I'm just going to let it cool down for a bit, see if it starts working. Maybe it's a safety thing where the wire won't come out anymore if it's overheated. Anyway, I am working my way along here. I've still got to do all these spot welds here, but I am working my way along. I have put little tacks just along here as well. I mean, it is all feeling very very solid. So while I'm waiting for that to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the angle grinder now and start grinding back. Okay, I managed to get it working again. I think what it is on the on and off switch, it's not just 2 wires, there's loads of wires. It looks like there's like 6 or 8 wires. So I think 2 of them are to do with the motor to push through the wire here, because every time I wiggle them, it seems to start working again. So that might be a trying to fix video at a later stage, or maybe it will just keep working. So I'm just going to weld these up now. I'm clamping them as I go along, so I want to pull down the inner wheel arch down onto this outer one here. I am happy with how it's going, but I've kind of been reminded about how noisy the angle grinding is. So the welding's lovely, but angle grinding, not only is it irritating because it takes so long, but because I've done so many welds, it's going to take forever. And it's not that I'm lazy, it's to do with the noise. So right now it's just gone past 6 o'clock. I'm having to stop because it's just going to annoy everybody in like 50 meters radius, and where we are here there's houses everywhere, so understandably so, it will just annoy so many people. So realistically, I don't know how long this is going to take me. I think I'm going to have to keep coming back to it and stuff, because I can't be angle grinding for like 7 or 8 hours all in one go. I think I'm going to have to do it like half an hour here, give it a break for a few hours, maybe do some electrics or something, then come back, do another half an hour. So maybe when I come to do the other side, I think I might put my spaces like Rolls Royce do, maybe every 1.5 or 2 inches or something, because then there's going to be a lot less to angle grind. While right now I've kind of got them every 1.5 centimeters, so I've got loads and loads and loads to grind down. But anyway, the weld is working a lot better now when it is working, because the gas is coming fully through, so I'm definitely happy with them. So let me just do a few more welds and then I think I'll be calling it a day for today. Okay, that is me done for today. I need to do hours and hours of angle grinding, so I'll save that for tomorrow, hopefully when more people are at work rather than do it in the evening. So I know it looks a complete mess and there's weld everywhere, but the good news is it's nice and solid. Underneath here it looks a lot better. You can see I started to grind down here. So I think the way forward is definitely not to do as many holes. So I just need to maybe do something here. I don't know if it's just a tiny little bit here, because I've kind of welded it up now. I might just, I don't know, I think I might just put a tiny little bit down here, this little section here. I've ground down their little work as well, that was on it before. So yeah, good news is, it is all very, very, very solid. So that is not going to be going anywhere. So overall, I am happy with it, and I don't think the body's distorted, and I think it looks kind of like it should do. You know, when I look at the lines off the wheel arch, I think it looks good, because if you look at this one over here, which is still original, so you can see, this is what it looks like. And when you look at my one, I think it looks the same. If you go to the front and look back, I think it looks good. So it's the next day now, and it's unfortunately angle grinding time. So I'm not going to be filming any of this. It's going to take probably quite a few hours, but I now need to grind down every single weld. Then after I've done that, we can add a little bit of filler to it. But I am happy with the look of the wheel arch. You know, on the outer one, it looks, I think it looks good, in shape with the car. I think anyway, maybe when I'm editing I'll be like, oh my word, but I think it's looking good. So yeah, grind all this back, and then we have to add filler all in this bit here to try to get a nice line between here and here. Okay, next time you see this, hopefully it will be ground back, and hopefully I won't have too many complaints. Right, not too bad. I've been at it for 40 minutes, and I managed to get the outer part done here. What's interesting is I've still got to do all the inside, but look here, when I was angle grinding this, it didn't take much heat at all until I started to see drips coming out of here, and then I thought to myself, okay, wow, maybe this inside bit is aluminium, but no, look, it's not. It's still steel. This is all steel, so it must be lead. You know, like they did lead dressing, what's it called? What is their name for it? Lead loading. Years ago they used to do lead loading instead of filler, and I'm wondering if that's what Rolls Royce did in the 80s, which is nice, isn't it? So yeah, I think all that seam there is done with lead. Anyway, I'm kind of happy with how it's coming along, and yesterday I kind of built up this area here with welds going down here, and I think now I'm not going to have to get something from the other wing. I think once I fill that, because I've kind of brought it down to a line down here, and I think that's going to look, I think it might look okay. Right, so now I've got to pop the wheel off, and I've got to do all these inner ones here. I don't think they're going to take as long, because they're not sticking out as much. So hopefully another 15 minutes we'll have it done, so within the hour, which I'm quite pleased with. Okay, I'm grinded back inside and outside, so now the inner wheel arch is all done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mask off some of the area, and I'm going to give it a quick spray with zinc spray, and then I need to get filling, and then we'll have to see what it looks like. So I think this side here is all going to be okay, but where it goes down here I've lost a kind of nice flat line at the edge, so I think it's going to look pretty bad. But the thing is, I'm not a professional, and if it looks better than it did before, then I'll be happy with that. To be fair, even if it looks as good as it did before, because before it was filler, at least now I've got metal back in the car, so it means that it's not going to rot as quick as it did before. Fingers crossed. Okay, so I've given it a coat with this old zinc spray here, and amazingly that's probably a better colour match than the actual paint I bought for the car. Right, I've let that dry for the required amount of time, 34 seconds, and now I'm going to get some filler, and I'm going to put it in this groove here, and hopefully that will go from there to there nicely. Then I think I might, well, I suppose while I've got the filler out, I might as well slap some filler up here as well, because the whole thing needs to be sanded back, doesn't it? See what it looks like afterwards.
vitamins and history books, psychology and a different way to look at it all. 'Cause my perspective is broken. If suffering's a way to earn your keep, I better start putting miles on my feet. But I'm so tired of wandering. Yeah, I'm lost, but I'm living. Yeah, I'm lost. Can I be forgiven? I thought by now pain would be my friend. I know that discomfort was a means to an end, but I'm lying in one bed. No, I'm lost, but I'm living. No, I'm lost. Can I be forgiven?
Obviously, I'm wearing a mask for this bit here because the dust is quite fine. Okay, so that's the first sanding done, and it's looking okay, but still not great. So I've got a little bit of a ridge here where I've gone a bit too heavy on the sanding, so I'm going to have to fill up this little bit again. So I think I'm going to go over with the body filler one more time, and then I think after that, after I've sanded it back again, I'm going to go over with this stuff here, this knife in putty. Hopefully then the finish might be alright. I've been using the electric sander as well as the hand, just to get rid of the lion's share of the filler, and also it makes it nice and flat as well. Right, I'm putting on this knife in putty now. To be honest with you, this is not very enjoyable for me, because if I knew it was going to come out looking good, then I'd be happy, but I think it's still going to look awful. What is nice though, I've got a pack of 4 very thin little blades from the pound shop of different sizes. Like little filler knives. See, even if I have to use a bit of polyfiller in my house, I'm awful at it. It's just, I don't know if I haven't got the patience, which is weird because I do have quite a bit of patience. But yeah, this now, my wife does the polyfiller in my house because I just always get a bad result. Okay, while I'm waiting for the knife in putty to go off, I'm going to put some underseal on this area here. So I've scraped it all back and then wiped it, because the underseal's been worn away now from where the hydraulic fluid's been hitting against it. So I'm going to spray that up, and hopefully that will give it some protection. Okay, so this has now all been undersealed. What I did is I brushed down the whole wheel arch, and then I took away all the flaking bits, and basically I just did a quick coating everywhere, but I concentrated most of it on here. The underseal again looks similar to the stone chip. It's a smooth finish, it's not mottled like this. I'm not sure what I need to get to have this mottled finish, but maybe when it's dry and you add extra coats it will start to go mottled like the original Rolls Royce stuff here. So yeah, that is it. I am still waiting for this to dry. I'm thinking because it's knifing putty, it's made for only tiny imperfections and not to be put on like filler. So I don't know if it is ever going to dry, because it's not something where you mix two parts off. You just put it on there and it goes hard. So I might have to scrape this back, but what I might do is I might leave this until tomorrow just to see if it's gone hard, but I'm not sure even after 24 hours whether or not that would go hard, because it's on too thick, but you never know. So yeah, this is now I think the end of my 3rd day on this. Not full days, but I've put quite a few hours into it. It's taken a lot longer than I thought, but I suppose bodywork is always going to take a long time. I've still got to do all this repair panel going on down here, but I suppose this is the thing that needs to be the best, because down here it's kind of hidden away and it's going to be full of underseal and stuff anyway. But yeah, at this moment in time, although it is better than it was before, because before it was pure filler and now it's metal, I actually think it's going to look worse than it did before, because I think the blending in from here to here is going to look really bad. But I suppose when I put it in for the respray, I'll just have to pay extra and get them to sand back the bodywork and do them nice here. I mean, I will try. I'll sand, I'll fill, I'll sand, I'll fill again, but I just don't think I'm going to get it looking any bit good, in my opinion anyway. But yeah, we'll see. I'll attack it again tomorrow and see how we get on then. Right, well, I've just been planning ahead a little bit, and just to see how this will fit here. Obviously this is going to be in a different episode, but I had to take the bumper off. Everything's just rotten, all the bolts are rusty and stuff. I managed to get most of them undone, but these ones here, I don't know what these are doing. I don't know where they're supposed to be originally. I presume they're probably built into this kind of bracket here in the corner, hence the reason why this bumper was kind of splayed out, just like this one over here. So I suppose the rot's got to the bolts down here as well, and can you see it's just pulling away. Unfortunately, the bumpers on this car are a real letdown, not just my car, every Silver Spirit from this era. I think they look horrible. What would be really nice is if somebody made some nice chrome bumpers to go along here, and I think it would really improve the look of the car. I understand rubber's good for if you hit into stuff, it just kind of doesn't really make much damage, but even on a car that looks in good condition, the rubber bumpers I still don't think looks nice. But these ones are all over the place, so they're warped out this way, just like the front valance is all out. And even if you look at this wasn't me, this came off relatively easy. Look at the back here, how much is damaged. So this is the little insert that goes into the middle of the rubber, and you think, well, this bit here's okay. It's not. This bit's all nice and flat, that's how it should look. Look at this bit here, it's like a little mini ramp. So I can try to use a rubber mallet and a bit of wood and try to make it a little bit better, but it's still going to look awful. So really that needs to be replaced, but it seems such a shame putting a nice chrome bit onto a horrible black rubber bumper. So don't really know what I'm going to do here, but I don't have to worry about it yet. I need to worry about this beforehand. So I think what I'm going to do is probably cut along here, and then I'll probably put holes in here, and again I'll probably tuck this underneath similar to what I did here, and then I can spot weld from here onto here. But that's going to be in a future episode. I'll get back to this tomorrow. This does seem to be finally starting to harden up, so I might be lucky and it might be hard by tomorrow. It's the next day now, miracle of miracles, it's actually gone off, I think. It definitely feels much harder than yesterday, and I can't squidge it along anymore, unless when I start sanding it will start to go kind of rubbery and just kind of come off in rolls rather than fine dust. But I'm going to give it a go. I'm just going to hand sand it with that little block down there, and then hopefully I might be able to get some sort of paint on this today. Okay, using the electric sander, so I've got a nice flat. It's much easier than using the block because it's a nice flat area. It's a bit hard to get to certain bits because obviously we have this line here, this kind of, you know, thing that sticks up here. So obviously you're kind of trying to do it on its side. But I am happy with that result to begin with. So now what I'm going to do is, it's kind of hard to see what's missing and what's not missing because it's all different colours. So I'm going to mask off the car. Wrap a blanket around the tyre. I don't think I'm going to bother taking the tyre off for this. I don't need to now because underneath is all done. For now, obviously I need to do hydraulics and stuff. I'm going to get the filler primer now and I'm going to spray it all. And then hopefully that will highlight all the imperfections. And I'm going to go over with that filler putty again and knife some of that in. Hopefully, I'm starting to feel a bit more hopeful now, but I think when I put the filler primer on, I think I'll just think, oh god, it looks awful, because right now it doesn't look too bad. Just as I thought, it looks absolutely awful. So, you see we've got all bumps and lumps here, all the way around here, all the way around here, and especially all down here. The wheel arch itself looks nice, this bit, because that's just pure metal. But where I've done the filler in, it just looks really bad. So I'm going to fill again, and then I'm going to sand again using rough sandpaper, because there's no point in using smooth on these big things, because it would just take me forever. So I'm going to fill again, and then I think I need to use a smoother sandpaper to try to get rid of these marks here. I think it's still going to look awful though. I think realistically I should probably get on with other jobs and just leave the bodywork to a professional. Okay, so I've got the knife and putty on there now, that's just going off. And reading the comments on the recent video that I released, a lot of people said that there needs to be a pipe going from here down to, I think they said the crankcase breather or something, but on this particular model this is completely blocked up. It doesn't actually go anywhere. So maybe on other models it is designed to go somewhere, but I've actually put my lips around that and blue. It's this is completely blocked up there. There's also another pipe down here, but if I get the mirror and put it down here and shine a light in there again, it's not going anywhere. So that pipe is blocked up as well. I know you can't see it now, you just have to take my word for it. So yeah, I think what happens is it looks like there's a pipe that goes down right the way under. Basically there's a pipe that goes down under here for the intake. It comes up, it goes into the bottom of this through the air filter and ends into the engine. So I don't believe there's anything connected here, but maybe for other markets it does have something connected. And loads of people said to me again about the horns are facing the wrong way. I thought horns have to face forward, but no, they said to turn them round to the side or point them downwards, otherwise you're going to get all the junk going into here. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to slacken them off and I'm just going to turn them round so they're facing that way and the other one's facing that way. I thought they had to face forward, but people are saying face them sideways or backwards. So I suppose the sound's just, I suppose when you're in the car you can hear it, when you're behind the car you can hear it. I just thought it had to be pointed forward, but no, so I'm going to spin that round. Right, so the next sand and then spray with the filler primer went really well. So now loads of those imperfections have gone. Still got some here, a few here, needs a bit of work around here, and I still need quite a bit down this way, but this side now is definitely starting to make progress. That's giving me a bit more hope now. See, I don't mind doing it over and over again if it's looking better each time. The worst is when you keep doing it over and over again and it's looking worse. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that now. I reckon 2 or 3 more fills and sands, we might have that. Okay, while I'm waiting on the next round of filler to dry, I've just been putting the front seat back together. So the batteries arrived quite a while ago now, so I soldered the battery back into this module thing down here. The memory seats are still not working, but that could be to do with the switch, fuse, something like that. So as you can see, I've cable tied it all up nicely. I've checked it, all movement is nice and smooth, forward, backwards, up, down, tilt, tilt, and this forward and back here. So I think I'm actually going to put the bottom seat back on, at least now when I'm working around this area here. It's nice and comfortable to sit on something rather than trying to balance all the time. Now maybe it's because the sun isn't quite as bright as earlier, and maybe if the sun's shining on it, it will look awful, but I feel like I'm finally getting somewhere. I need to do a bit here, in here, a little bit there, but it's all tiny bits now, and this is still causing me problems down here. But I don't know, nearly there. But as I say, it's not dark, it's just the sun's not beating down on it, so you know, it's when the sun's on it you might see all different sorts of stuff. Right, at the moment we've been waiting for, so metallic graphite Rolls Royce colour, the correct colour. I'm going to just give it a gentle spray over. I just sprayed a little bit here just to make sure it was the correct colour. It looks nice. So yeah, now this obviously isn't a respray. I'm just doing this so when I take it for like an MOT and stuff and drive it to get tyres, then it's just going to blend in a little bit better than having a bright yellow wing. Annoyingly, it seems to be coming out at different varying amounts, like really slow, and then a sudden burst of power. It's annoying. Oh, I know it seems like I'm always making excuses, but that is horrible the way it's coming out. I don't know if you can hear it or not. It's really weak, and then every now and then it just gives a blast. Right, I'm going to keep shaking it, and even though I've shaken it for well over 2 minutes after I heard the ball. And yeah, I'm going to let that dry a little bit and then give it another coat, another coat, another coat, and we'll see what it looks like. I am done. Now remember, there's no top coat or anything on it, and also the sun's not shining, so it'll probably look a lot worse when the sun's shining on it. But overall, I am happy with how it's come out. Obviously the paint's not going to blend in. You can see it's shiny here, it's not shiny here. Remember, no top coats. But it's definitely easy out of a spray can rather than using a paintbrush out of a tin, which I think anybody could have told me. But I'm happy with that. I think it actually looks okay. Now it might be a different story when the sun's on it. It might be a different story when I'm editing it and I see it on the big screen. But I think overall, I think it looks good. So if we look at that wheel arch now, do you know what, without the hubcaps it looks so mean. And that one there. I think if a body shop got hold of this and worked their magic on it, I think they could make that look okay, you know. Okay, I put a hose pipe on it just to get rid of some of the dust around the place. It's amazing how much that filler dust travels. But overall, I am happy with that wheel arch now. I think shape-wise it looks good, and I think when a body shop gets hold of that, I think they'll be able to do something with it. You know, when I get the respray, I think they'll be able to, I know it's going to take work, but I think hopefully they'll be able to make that look better than it is now, and it already looks pretty good. So yeah, that is it for this video. A lot of work was involved in that, but we got there eventually. And you know what, when I edit up the video, hopefully it might make a nice video, and then I'll forget about the annoyance, and then when it comes to doing this one down here, I'll probably be all keen and raring to go again now that I know the finish on this one is acceptable. In my opinion. I know obviously people, a professional would look at it and say it's awful, and yeah, I'm sure it is awful, but at least it's not filler now, at least it is proper metal. So I'm taking that as a big fat win. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a massive thumbs up, and please subscribe for more of these videos if you haven't already. Until the next time, take care. Thanks for watching.